All right, welcome to another edition of The Real Deal. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. So it's time for a new episode. Let's get it. All right. Once again, thank you for everyone that's tuning in. Welcome to another episode of The Real Deal, episode 107, Thanksgiving weekend special of The Real Deal. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harden. Thank you, everyone that is tuning in. I hope everyone had a great and safe and fun Thanksgiving. That was just this past Thursday. Hope everyone enjoyed their family, friends, food, football, whatever, shopping, Black Friday, or whatever you can do on this weekend. I hope everyone has enjoyed some time off and time with their family and friends. Again, I'm Courtney Harden, your host as always. Thank you everyone that's tuning in on all podcast platforms, whether it's Spotify, Google Play, YouTube, Spreaker, Roku, BS3 TV app, the Roku. Shout out again to the BS3 network. That's where you can get all the podcasts there. That's the network. Ben Sutter, shout out to him, the creator and owner of BS3 Radio. We're sponsored by them. BS3TVLive.com. You can follow the show at Get the Real Deal on Twitter, also on Facebook and Instagram, Courtney Harden. Like I said, I always say Google the Real Deal with Courtney Harden. Get all the episodes there and all the platforms as well. Like I said, thank you everyone that's tuning in the chat room and on Facebook and Twitter and all those things. So I'm like very, very excited about this next episode. Again, Thanksgiving weekend special. I had to bring in a heavy hitter. I was on his show last week, so it's only right that I always return the favor as always. So I'm just going to bring him in, Mr. Sports Prophet himself. He is the co-host of the Third and Three podcast, NFL. Talk a little bit of everything, but a lot of NFL talk. So everyone check that show out with Nicky Nick and Damian Adams, my real deal brother as well. But the Sports Prophet is on the show today. Jason Fearman, what's good, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's happening, man? Courtney, it's great to be on with you, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. How was your Thanksgiving with the family and all those things?
All those good things. The only thing was missing was a little backyard football, but I got a torn rotator cuff, so if I wanted to, I'm getting old, man. Things are breaking down.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Otherwise, we had some pretty good football games on too, man. But this Thanksgiving didn't disappoint with the NFL.
It did not, and it usually depends. Sometimes there's a game that's great. Other times there's some some of the other games are just they're okay, it's like blowouts and things like that. But
yeah,
these games were really really good, and I mean from the earlier slate until the later slate, the late game was really good. So, but yeah, it was really good. So I'm glad that you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Thanks for coming on, man. Like you said, I know timing and work and everything too. So I'm really glad to get you on for this next 45 minutes to an hour.
No doubt, man. Hey, like there's always room for extra turkey. There's always room for Courtney, man. No question about it. Bro.
No doubt. Yeah.
It's my pleasure to be here, bro. No question.
No doubt. Yes. And it was funny because we talked about, like you said, Thanksgiving and turkey. And, we just had our last of the leftovers yesterday. So it was so good, man. I mean, food is just Thanksgiving for some reason hits different always. And, because you're with family and you're with your friends and things like that. But that food, it's just something. It's just great. It's grateful to be thankful for everything too, everything that we got in our lives and things too. So that's the most important. But that food hits a little different on Thanksgiving weekend, man.
Well, I'm happy to hear that you had a good, happy Thanksgiving, bro. That's a great thing. Beautiful.
Yeah, definitely.
We did exchange our texts on Thursday, but now face to face or virtually face to face, at least I get to say, again, happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, no doubt, man. So yeah, let's get started. But before we get started, let everyone know about the Third and Three podcast that don't follow. You guys should be following this show. I'm telling you, man, these guys, I love the show, the banter, the interaction, and everything too. You guys do an amazing job just breaking down the games and everything too. It's like a family. So shout out the 33 podcast.
It is family, man, and thank you for that promo right there. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll make it brief, but yeah, every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, me, Nikki, and Damien, we go live and we just have a great time. In season NFL, it's just all NFL, like everything. We just gobble it up and spit it out to you. But it's funny. Some people say they like our off-season show a little bit more because we do our acknowledgement. Nikki, we get into all sorts of crazy stuff and just have a really great time. And it's all somehow surrounded by sports. And yeah, that's it, man. Look, every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we all get together and it's like, mental football therapy first. It's a beautiful thing. We all need it.
Yes. And you can always find the show. You guys can find, you say you're weekly. You guys are like all social media. So just follow the 33 podcast on all podcast platforms, social media and everything too. Because you said Nikki, she's very out there with on social media and she's at the games and things like that. You're active on social media. Damien's real active on social media too. So shout out to Nikki, Damien, and the entire 33 podcast. So like I said, I love the show, it. So love being on it, love the banter and all those things too. But I just like the chemistry you guys always have too. So
thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. And again, it's nothing that's forced. We always like to say we don't rehearse anything because we just want to be, just totally, straight up, and whatever comes out of our mouths comes out of our mouths. And, it just works out that way. And, I love when you pop on and, some of the other fellas pop on, and it's awesome, man, having your guys, impact on the show. It makes it that much more worth it.
Yes, it's a great show, man. I really enjoy it. So keep doing what you're doing. And you also write too for the 33 podcast. Talk a little bit about the writing that you do as well.
Yeah, I mean, we should be doing a little bit more of that, but we got some people writing for us actually, just to kind of like beef it up and everything. But no, that one is not just NFL. That's all sports. So whatever we want to talk about, whatever's going on, Damien loves to write about his boxing. Nikki loves to write about her Giants and everything. Yep. And I'll even get into baseball. We all get into basketball. Obviously, the NFL's our bread and butter. But yeah, go to the site, and that's where you can find our podcasts and everything like that. Usually our weekly picks are up there. And actually, there's pretty cool deals. I'm not going to do a whole promotion, but yeah, if you go to the site and you scroll down on the homepage a little bit, you find some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it's like I said, you got to promote your stuff, man. So I'm going to give you the platform to do it. So so 33 podcast, check it out. And we already got some comments in the chat here. Let's see what's good. They said, "What's up? Keep up the great work, Jason and Courtney. Thank you. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving." How about the Cowboys? I'm thinking this is Nathan Ramachandra from the NR Hour. I'm assuming. I'm thinking you guys are the best podcast family. Yes, really, really. Yep. I think that this is Nathan. So yeah, thank you, man, for always supporting. He supports, and he has his podcast as well, the NR Hour Sports Show. He has a bunch of guests on there. He said, "Do you think Aaron Judge will stay with the Yankees or the San Francisco Giants?" Okay, well, like I said, it's interactive. If you guys got questions in the chat, definitely shout your team out and shout whatever was on your mind. So I'll ask you, what do you think Aaron Judge is going to do before we get into some NFL?
I'll tell you, man, the Giants are whining and dying in him right now.
Yes, they are.
Frisco is the place to be. This is where you want. You get nicer weather, this and that. I mean, whatever they can throw at him. But I have a hard time seeing him out of the pinstripes. I think that the Yankees, they always have enough money to throw at their guys. And this is one guy that I think the Yankee fans would be so pissed off if they let him go that they just can't do it. And they're going to have to pay him. So I think the Yankees are staying with New York.
I think he's going to stay in New York, too. I think he just made history in New York, becoming the American League all-time home run hits, hits leader. Yeah. And on top of that, he had a great year. He just won MVP. But as you said, the Giants are really whining and dining. They bringing in like Steph Curry's coming in, and the recruitment is like they're just doing a full court press on for him, and he's going to get some money. I mean, he's going to get paid, and he bet on himself in the offseason, had a tremendous historic year, and now he's like, yes, he's going to get about $300+ million for 7, 8, 9 years, whatever it's going to be. I guess the reports have come out that the Yankees already had offered him a $321 million deal for 9 years, but I think he wants to see what the Giants are going to do. So the Giants are probably going to put up at least 350, maybe for 10 years, 9 years. So he's going to get between 30 to 35, 40 million a year. Either way, it's a lot of money.
And that's the thing, the Giants throw a number at him, the Yankees come back with a little bit more, and maybe that does it. But we'll see. We'll see who wins the game.
Yeah, we'll see. And I know Nathan's he's a big big Yankee fan, so I know
Yes.
he wants the judge, all rise the judge, to come back to the Yankees. So
See, I like Niff, and we're cool, but I'm a Niners fan. He's a Cowboys fan. That don't work.
yeah.
I'm a Mets fan. He's a Yankees fan. That don't work. So we
Yeah,
don't really see eye to eye on sports.
right. You know, he says Cowboy fan. You know, I'm an Eagles fan, so we always go through our thing, the rivalry and stuff. So we'll definitely, I'll be seeing him on Christmas Eve, with the Eagles and Cowboys Christmas Eve. So can't wait. And Big D. So we'll definitely, I'm sure we might do a show together and that time. So, but rivalry week in college football as well is happening at the Michigan and Ohio State, and there's another game, USC, I think USC and Notre Dame. So there's a lot of games in college football too. I know you follow a little bit of college too. What do you think of the season so far in college football?
Yeah, as much as I can. I think my favorite thing about the season is that Alabama's not going to be in the playoff. You know, I got to be honest with you. You know, you kind of get tired of that. You want to see new teams in there. Maybe TCU gets in right now. I think they're ranked number 4. Whoever, Ohio State, Michigan, the loser of that is out. So that leaves room for USC to jump in if they beat Notre Dame, but it's kind of a big if. So, yeah, it's definitely exciting. And Georgia, look, they're showing that they're for real again, you know, still ranked number 1. And, yeah, you got to give it to them over there. So it's pretty interesting. For somebody who doesn't watch as much college football as other people do, I am more into it this year, it seems like. And that's because Alabama's not beating everybody up. That's what I'm
Alabama with 2 losses. And then you got a 2-loss LSU team that's right in the mix. I think they're 5th right now in the College Bowl playoff bracket. And it's like they could be the first 2-loss team if they run the tape. They beat Georgia in the SEC championship. I think it's the next week or 2 weeks. They could have a clear cut right there too. So, but if they lose, they're out. But as you said, USC, if they run the table, they're in. I just love the chaos, especially in those last weeks. I love that part of college football. I don't follow college football like I used to either.
It's hard.
It's hard, man.
Yeah. You know, now the playoff, they're not doing that to what, 2026, the 12 team? You know, a long time to go for that one. So it's still going to be, you know, like you said, a whole lot of chaos. But I wonder if it'll be even more chaos when they go to 12 teams.
It probably will be. And then, as you said, Alabama, Clemson, some of the favorites that's been over the last 5 years are not going to be in the mix. No, Clemson, I think they got 1 loss, but they're in the top 7, I believe. So
they got a chance.
They still got a chance.
They have to run the table, and they have to have things full their way.
A lot of help. Yeah, they got to get a lot of help. But yeah, looking forward to see what this rivalry week and the chaos is going to be, because you said the winner of Michigan, Ohio State should solidify themselves that top 4, and whoever loses, I guess it depends on what happens. Ohio State, if they do lose, they still got a shot, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I love the chaos of those top 7, 8 teams trying to jockey in for position. So I do like that. So, all right, let's get into this NFL. And that's what I got you here for. Let's recap those Thursday games. Like I said, it was great games. Let's start with the Bills and Lions. The Bills escaped another win in Detroit. What do you feel like with that game? How it transpired? They come down the field with 30 plus seconds left. Come down the field, get a field goal. That nice pass to Diggs. Just right over the middle. It was crazy. So what do you think of the Bills and their season so far in that game against Detroit?
Yeah, once it was tied, they had like a minute and a half left or whatever it was. They had no doubt in my mind they were going to go down and kick a field goal. So that was easy. But the thing that I took away most from it is that after Detroit had won 3 in a row, they came pretty darn close to winning 4 in a row. They were winning that game. They were doing a really good job. And they still have things to work out on defense, but their defense is improving. So I was one of those who said, I think the Lions are going to be that 7th seed in the NFC this year. If they would have pulled this game off, I would have felt a lot better about it.
Yeah, right.
But I feel good about them going forward. Like they're a team that I say, oh, wow, they can do a lot. Now, I don't know about Jared Goff if he's necessarily the guy, but they got a lot of weapons. And this Jameson Williams kid is going to be coming in soon, and he's supposed to be electric. So they got to really do stuff on the defensive side of the ball. But as far as Buffalo, they were my just like so many other people, bro. They were my preseason favorites to get to the AFC, be AFC representative, to get to the Super Bowl. And right now, I know they beat Kansas City already, but if I were to say they were to go head to head, I would say Kansas City at this moment. Buffalo is just not looking solid enough, and they should be beating these teams by more, and they shouldn't be fumbling around and losing to Minnesota at home the way they did.
Yeah, they blew that game, and then they looked okay, and it's just Josh Allen's just not healthy. He just doesn't look healthy, and I know he's banged up and everything, but they're finding ways to get W's, and that's what it's about. And started off hot as they did, and as you said, Detroit. Shout out to Mike Pat before he says he's sad about his Tennessee, but we got a chance at 10 wins for the first time since and forever, definitely. So shout out to him and follow him as well in his show touring the AFC South podcast. So support that podcast as well. He said Detroit always going to be great snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Yeah. And so he said, are we going to chat about Josh Allen, his carelessness? Yeah, that's where I was going to go. Josh Allen is being very reckless and very, very careless. And he's been that way the past couple of years. And yes, he has improved in his, his passing and all that too. But then he has those games where you're like, couple picks here, a couple picks there. Yep. And yes, the injury is a big part of that too. He is banged up, but he's out there competing, he's out there playing. But I still like the Bills. I picked the Chiefs in my preseason rank and for my preseason represent for the Super Bowl for the AFC. Right. So Chiefs are looking really good, but the Bills are finding a way, and they're banged up in the secondary too. So we'll see what happens. So their defense is not playing as good as they were playing early in the year too. So, but Buffalo found a way to win, and they're right in the mix still.
Yeah, they just got your Davius White back at corner, which is great. But now Von Miller, I don't know how long he's going to be out. That's a knee injury there.
Yeah, that's a big blow, especially if Von Miller's out for a significant amount of time. I know they haven't really reported anything with that, but he went on the cart, knee injury. So he's one of the best defenders on that. On that team. Sure. So we'll see what happens. The impact he has. We'll see what happens with him. But man, they're
even missing guys like they got to get healthy, like Edmonds and what's his name escaping my mind right now? Not Ed Oliver, he's playing, but Tremont Edmonds, and there was somebody else that they're missing that's not playing at the moment.
Yeah.
A big time player, and I escaped my mind at the moment. But yeah, they got to get healthy. That's one of their problems.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Buffalo right now, like I said, right in the mix. They're one of the top teams, still in the AFC. They lost, like I said, that Minnesota game was blowing that and fumbling the snap right at the goal line and right at the 1 yard line. So it's going to be interesting. So
by the way, it's AJ Epinesa who I was
yes.
Had to get it out. If I didn't say it, I was going to go crazy.
Right. So Mike Pad says lateral meniscus tear for Von Miller. Yeah, that's not good. And timetable to be determined. Yeah, thanks for that as well. Yeah, we're right on top of that. So we're gonna be looking out for that because that's going to be that's a week to week. That's going to be a few weeks at the least. Anything a tear is a week is a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you don't want to rush him back.
No,
you don't want to do that.
You really don't. You
want to
get him for the playoffs. Yes.
Yeah,
sure. You can if you need to just tread water, get him to the playoffs. You guys are good enough to at least get to the playoffs. Maybe try to win this division. But the Dolphins, they're looking really good in the AFC. I love that. So let's get into the next game. The Dallas, right around my neck of the woods, the NFC East. The Cowboys and Giants, the highest rated regular season game ever. 42 million viewers, which is crazy, so, and Dallas pulls it out, being down. I mean, with the time, they were down 13-7 at halftime, not looking really good. Dak wasn't looking good. He had the one pick, and then they turn it around in the second half. The Giants, I know, if Nikki, if you're watching, I don't know, man. I don't know. They start off really well, but they're getting a little bit exposed now because Daniel Jones don't have a lot of weapons, as we know that. Saquon it seems like Saquon or bust for the Giants. That's what it looks. That's what it's looking like, and he's not even getting the touches as much now. The last game he didn't get as many touches as he should have. They were running other running backs out there too. So, but it seemed like a Saquon or bust for the Giants. But what was your take on that game and the viewership for that NFC East matchup?
Yeah, that is amazing how many people watch that game. And that's because the Giants are finally relevant in so long.
Yeah, true.
7-3 teams going at it. So that has a lot to, and I'm with you. I don't understand why the Giants game plan yesterday was very, very strange to me. I don't know why they weren't doing the usual RPO type of stuff and Saquon wasn't getting the ball enough. I really don't know what happened. But the thing that impressed me the most is that, like you said, Dallas is down 13-7, and then they came in the second half, made their adjustments, and boom, took off and went away.
Yeah.
That was really it. So the adjustments, and that does show coaching. And Dak came back, and look, Dalton Schultz had a big game. CeeDee Lamb was getting open and everything. Yeah. So, Dak showed what he can do. And, Pollard and Zeke didn't have their – I mean, they had pretty good games actually combined. They rushed for almost 200 yards combined or whatever it was. I mean, that's another thing. Dallas is very dynamic right now, and I can only imagine if they get Odell Beckham Jr., that's going to be crazy, bro. So Dallas going forward, they look legit. And yeah, I'm sorry to say the Giants, where they've been overachieving all year long. Like, let's not kid ourselves. They've been completely overachieving. They don't even have a wide receiving staff at all. They got nobody to throw the freaking football to.
Yeah.
Slayton's a good player. I like him. Robinson, I like, but let's get real. They don't have anywhere near a one. And that's going to be their demise. Their defense is not going to be able to hold up as this long. The Giants are 7-4 right now. I don't know if they have 2 or 3 more wins left in them to get to the playoffs. I'm not sure.
That's so true, and you're right. I think with the Giants, and I'm in an NFC East. We have a group chat with the NFC East, and we talk about a lot of different things. And I had put on there, I said, I don't know about these Giants. Like, they're that 7-4 record is very glaring, and it seemed like they're being exposed, and their weaknesses are starting to catch up with them. And like I said, if it's not Saquon having a big game, where are they going to get their offense and where they're going to generate points from? So because it seems like they don't let Daniel Jones, or they don't have faith in Daniel Jones to air it out and to win games like that. You might have to rely on that. And then, like I said, but he has no weapons outside of Saquon, really consistent weapons outside of Saquon. So when you have Saquon and he gets bottled up, you put those 8-9 man fronts. Where's he going to throw the ball to? With all those injuries they have in the receiving core, I don't know. I called them fraud, but maybe I was a little too harsh with that. But I don't think they're gonna. I just, like you said, can they get a couple wins? Yes, because I believe Brian Daboll is a good coach, a really good coach.
Yes,
and but they're gonna have to find a way to put points on the board. And if they can't find that with letting Daniel Jones at least try to throw the football a little bit more, but where's he gonna throw it to? So that's what. But you got to let Saquon be Saquon. You got to still feed him and let him get his yards and let him get his touches out of the backfield. And when you don't, that's going to come back to bite them. And it did in this game.
It sure did, man. It absolutely did. And that's the thing. They're not dynamic enough to pull off a win against a team that has such a great defense and was able to make those adjustments. And again, Dallas can score points, as we did see. The Giants put up a late touchdown toward the end, which really didn't mean anything. So Dallas really had their way with them.
Yeah, they definitely did. Shout out to Mr. Ben Sutters, the CEO of BS3 Network. Thanks,
Ben.
Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Really, always appreciate it, man, and always giving me this platform to do what we do. So I really appreciate them always. And yeah, Dallas, they're very scary because they said they could score points in bunches, and they're starting to look in a lot of games. I mean, they throttled Minnesota last week and then scoring 40 points, and now because they could beat you with the pass, with the run, with that run game with Pollard and Zeke, they're going to be very scary moving forward. And with the Eagles sitting 2 games ahead of them, Dallas starting to look like the Cowboys with that scary defense, like they did last year when they were putting up a lot of points too, as the number 1 offense. So We'll see what happens. Cowboys usually in the playoffs, they don't usually do much, but a regular season, they could. I have a feeling they're going to win so many games because they're so good. They're good on both sides of the football, so
they are
run on that.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage is key, as we both know. They're good on the line of scrimmage on the offensive line and defensive line. That's going to get you really far in the playoffs. It really will. So I'm curious to see how far they do get.
Me too, definitely, man. So and we talked about Dallas beating on Minnesota. Minnesota came back and turned it right around in their last game. And Kirk Cousins, I know in our fantasy football chat, Kirk Cousins gets a lot of heat. I've been one of those ones. It's like he doesn't produce in prime time, which he really doesn't. But he definitely he got over this time, got over his struggles. He was in prime time. That was a late game. They beat the New England Patriots, and Kirk Cousins, like I said, he was in his bag this game, man, and was really doing his thing. So he did throw a pick, but he came back. He was 30 of 37, 299 yards and 3 touchdowns. What do you think of Minnesota and that impressive performance by Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, like how we were just talking about the Giants, how we're not sure. Like we were saying that about Minnesota. It's like, really not sure if they're really this good, but they're 9-2, and now you have to give it to them a little bit. I know they've been winning games really close, but this game really impressed me. The offensively, not the defense, obviously, because I don't know how the hell the Patriots put up 26 points. I'm still baffled by that. But other than that, Minnesota came back and they needed a touchdown in the 4th quarter to go ahead and win the thing, and they did. And, Adam Thielen starting to get more involved in the offense. I like the run game. So I was really impressed that they were able to put up that many points, albeit at home, and that's fine, against the Patriots. So now I'm starting to think No, I don't believe the Vikings are a Super Bowl team. I'm not going to go that far, but I know that they can give anybody they play hell. It will be a tough game this year. So they are definitely a different team from what they were last year to this year. And a lot of that, you got to look at Kevin O'Connell, who's getting no love at all whatsoever, their head coach. He's got to be in the mix for head coach of the year right now. I wouldn't give it to him at this particular moment, but listen, he's got them at 9-2 and playing a hell of a lot better than what they had been.
Yeah, they're running away with the division. They made the adjustments in this game. I mean, after, like I said, they get beat down by the Cowboys the last week, and then but again, they were saying, "Oh, Minnesota might be frauds." I'm thinking, yeah, but they're 9-2. Like they're winning, and they're winning games. Yes, they have it against Dallas and against the Eagles. They got thrashed, but they're winning other games. And usually in the division with Aaron Rodgers, you think, "Oh, it's going to be Green Bay." And that's what it is. But the way they're struggling, Minnesota's running away with this division. So they're going to make the play. They're going to win the division. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to host at least host a home game in the playoffs if they keep it up. And Justin Jefferson, man, he's a monster, man.
Wow.
I mean, this guy is unguardable in a way. It's like, and as long as Kirk Cousins can keep. It's just he gets open every single snap. That's how good he is.
It's incredible. Very few teams have been able to do a good job against him. Now Dallas did. Ironically, they actually did a pretty good job against Jefferson. But still, other than that, some of the things that he does. We all remember that 4th down 18 catch against Buffalo a couple of weeks ago. It goes like you said. He gets wide open. Like there's NFL open. And then there's
right,
wide open, and he makes it so easy for Kirk Cousins to hit him. It's unbelievable, and he does a good job. Yards after the catch and everything.
Yes,
Jefferson is one of the top offensive players in the NFL. He is unreal, and he did break Randy Moss's record for the amount of yards in their first 3 seasons, and they still got 9 games left to play. It's crazy.
Goodness. Yeah, he's on a great trajectory, man, of greatness, and as you said, the build of how he is. He's fast. He's big enough. He makes tough catches. And he's unbelievable catches. And it's just he's unreal. And like you said, the only teams that actually the losses is what it was the Cowboys and the Eagles because they put Slay on him and Slay had a good game against Jefferson. But other than that, there's no other teams that really you got to bracket him. You got to put a safety over the top. And even then, that doesn't really help because he can break that and he just gets in between and makes those tough catches. And like I said, when you break Randy Moss, you talk about Randy Moss and a record you're breaking. It's crazy. So yeah, he's on a great trajectory, man. And we'll see what happens with Minnesota because they got weapons galore with Thielen and with Cook and Hawkinson now. It's like wow, it's so many weapons. So Kirk Cousins, this is your time, man. You got the weapons, so. This is your time to see if you can actually get to maybe the NFC Championship or past the first round. So we'll see what happens. Or they can get a bye depending on how everything else shakes out. So we'll see there.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But great games, man. And we still got a lot of good games. Week 12 is here. So let's talk about some of these games. I wanted to get your opinions on a few of these games. What are a couple games that you're looking forward to with this with some of these the Week 12 schedule?
Well, other than my Niners versus Damian Saints, I won't bash Damian on the show, obviously. We're going to take care of them, but I'm looking forward to it because I don't want to see the 49ers play down to an opponent. I want to make sure that they're beating the teams that they're supposed to beat and play at that level. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Deebo Samuel is questionable right now. That will hurt if we don't have him, but there's so many weapons on that team. It's ridiculous. Ayuk, McCaffrey, Kittle. I mean, it just goes on and on. So, but other than that, I'm definitely interested to see your Eagles against Philly because Philly has not played their best football the last couple of weeks. I'm not saying that Green Bay is any sort of juggernaut. We all know that they're not. But one thing they can do is run the football. Yes. And, we talked about Philly and their defense, and if they do have a hole, it is the run game. So if Green Bay is going to stick to that run game, Courtney, then I'm still picking Philly. Don't get me wrong over here. Philly is a better team all around, especially offensive, defensive line. But if Green Bay is able to get that running game going, they will get play action happening, and it will be a tougher game than people think.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with all the points you said about that. And the Eagles have struggled, and yet they did pull it off against the Colts. It took some, it's almost like Jalen Hurts has had to put it on his back and become Superman with this, and he did it. I mean, he did it because they looked very shaky throughout, and it was a weird game because Jonathan Taylor, he ran through us in the first quarter, but then we shut down. So we shut him down. We shut that run game down. So, but the defense was holding it together, but the offense couldn't generate much. It was like the play calling was bad, and then it was that they turnover again, and they haven't been turning the ball over. But these last 2 weeks, they've been turning it over. AJ Brown with the fumble, which is a rare thing. So, but yeah, Hurts, he just took it upon himself, and I think losing Goddard is going to be bigger. It's a big glaring hole because now it's tight end by committee. So, but then they didn't commit to the run. But Hurts, he was running, but then they weren't giving it to Miles Sanders. So it was a little bit of everything in that game. But they pulled it out in the end. But they can't continue to keep playing like that. They got to get back to what they did the first 8 weeks, and that's what that offense just moving up and down the field with a balanced attack, and the defense just hold it down. So. But yeah, if Green Bay gets going with the run, as you said, and that play action, Aaron Rodgers kills as bad as he's been, he still kills defenses with that play action.
Oh,
and he's still Aaron Rodgers. So I mean,
right.
As bad as that team has been, he's still Aaron Rodgers. He can prove that, and if this is the time they can get on a run, I don't think they will, the Packers, but I still feel like the Eagles will pull this out. But I think it's going to be closer than, like you said, it's going to be closer than people are thinking.
Yeah, we didn't think Green Bay was going to beat Dallas a couple of weeks ago, and it's like, look at that. How'd that happen?
Right, exactly. So, yeah, we got a fantasy question here. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Cletus says on YouTube, hey, guys, I wonder if I should start Njoku or Higbee at tight end this week. What do you think?
I would definitely go into Njoku. He was questionable going in, but now he's got a clean bill of health to play. And I wouldn't start Higbee because Bryce Perkins is going to be the Rams.
Yeah.
So I would stay away from any Rams player this week, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Yeah, I think it's Njoku too. Basically, as you said, the Rams are playing their third string or their backup third string quarterback now. So, I stay away from any Rams. No, don't even play any Rams. But yeah, started Njoku definitely. Yeah, keep the questions coming.
Defense hasn't been really any good this year. Cleveland's playing them, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much.
Yeah, definitely. So, but yeah, you talk about your 49ers. Let's get into them. And as you said, you're a 49ers fan, and with all those weapons they have, and man, they looked really, really good, and they're starting to get it together. What do you think of all the weapons with what the 49ers have and them moving forward? And if Jimmy G just continues to play, he can play at a high level. We know Jimmy G can play at this level. I mean, he's got to a Super Bowl, he's got to an NFC Championship game the past 2 years. So he's capable. Now he actually has so many weapons, and you just don't know where to turn to. What do you think of the 49ers and moving forward in this NFC?
Man, on Jimmy G, for as much crap as we give him, and I'm certainly not a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm not going to lie, we have to at least accept and acknowledge what he has done, which you said, get us to a Super Bowl, get us to an NFC Championship, almost winning it. I don't want to say getting us there, but helping us along. And he's doing that right now. He's not making the mistakes. That's the key thing. If he doesn't turn the ball over, we're going to win because we're going to run for almost 200 yards every game. You look at Brandon Ayuk is coming out this year. I mean, he is now balling right now.
Yes.
We know what Kittle can do. We know what Debo can do. McCaffrey being on the team and Elijah Mitchell in the backfield to give McCaffrey a spell is unbelievable. And we love to run the ball. If we can keep both of these guys healthy and our offensive line intact, which is getting better and better as the games go on, we're going to be tough to beat. The 49ers are one of 3 teams and 3 teams only in the NFC that can represent that conference, and that's them, your Eagles, and the Dallas Cowboys. I don't see the Bucs doing it. I don't see the Rams, obviously. I don't see Seattle being able to come out. 3 teams, that's it. One of those 3 teams is going to represent, and it's whoever's playing the best in January.
Yep, at that moment. Very well said. I agree. And I think with the 49ers, just watching them, as you said, we scoped the whole NFL. It's interesting with the weapons, and defensively they're really good. Like,
not to mention, really, they're number 1 in basically every defensive category. So that's a great point. Except turnovers. That's one thing we can't do. We can't get turnovers, but we can stop you and get you on 3 and outs left and right. So that's a great point.
Yeah, that running game, man, and like I said, with Debo back there too, and they run that offense with those 3 backs in there with Elijah Mitchell and CMC, and then and Debo Samuel, and they're running that. It's like, okay, who are we going to guard? Who are we going to defend?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Right. And on top of Kittle, who's getting healthier, and Kittle's saying, don't forget about me. You're talking about the top tight ends. Don't forget, I'm one of those top tight ends too.
That's right.
So Mark Andrews and uh, uh,
Kelsey.
Kelsey. Yes, Kelsey. Thank you, Kelsey. Don't forget about Kittle. Don't forget about Kittle. Like he's
Don't
like,
forget.
I'm still here. As long as he stay healthy. As long as they stay healthy. And like you said, and Jimmy G plays at a level that we know he can play at that way. Just being more consistent. 49ers
Yes.
said they could be a problem again, and they already starting to be that. So yeah, I'm definitely scared as an Eagle fan, scared of the 49ers as well. More than probably any other team, even more over Dallas. I'm scared of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, tough when you have a defense like that and a running game like that. That travels anywhere. That plays in it plays in Green Bay in January. It plays in a dome in Dallas. It doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. That's that real good defense. So got another fantasy question here. So yeah, keep them coming. Ayuk, DJ Moore, Paris Campbell, or Garrett Wilson. Full PPR. Pick one.
All right. Well, Garrett Wilson's got Mike White throwing the ball. That's probably better than Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson, yes.
I would say Ayuk immediately. I mean, that's one that you got to throw in there. They are throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
But it's just you got to pick one. I would probably go with Ayuk. I do like Paris Campbell's matchup a little bit this week. Yeah. I mean, Sam Darnold is going to be the quarterback for the Panthers, so that's another one with DJ Moore. I'm not sure how often he's going to get the ball. I think Ayuk is the way to go, Courtney. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think it's Ayuk too, just because of the offense. But I wouldn't sleep on Garrett Wilson either, as you said, with Mike White. It's a better situation for sure. And Garrett Wilson, that offense struggled like really bad last week. They couldn't generate anything. They couldn't get no yards. They couldn't score or anything like that. So like I don't think it could get any worse. And Mike White, all he's gonna do is he's gonna either check down or he's gonna go throw it to Garrett Wilson. So
yeah,
Garrett
Wilson, he can do those quick slants, and those are one of the easiest throws in football. So Garrett Wilson could have a good game. I feel more confident with Ayuk, but Garrett Wilson's a stud, right?
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a big stud, and they got the Bears this week. So
right.
We don't know what the Bears, they're banged up everywhere too. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I can see either Ayuk or Garrett Wilson. I would go with one of those two, just based off matchups. I'll stick with that. So any other games? Let me see. Let's see. Got
I like Tennessee Cincinnati this week.
Yeah, that's a game. Yeah.
Right? That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that one.
Who's going to win that one?
Ooh,
so Tennessee's what 7-3. They're playing at home, in Cincinnati's 6-4. So they got close to identical records. And
yeah,
Tennessee's just tough, man. Right?
Yeah, they're tough. They're starting to get it together. And Tannehill and he's back healthy, and they're running the football, of course. But man, if they got it going, like they're a team that nobody's really talking about. Team I don't think nobody wants to play, but yeah. I think the Bengals pulled this one out because they're starting to get it going. To Joe Burrow and the offense now is starting to really pick it up as well. I think Cincinnati could win a real close game, but I could see either team winning it. But I think I got the Bengals in it. But I'm looking forward to that game as well.
I think it'll be a close one. This is a revenge match for what happened in last year's AFC divisional round. They sacked Burrow 9 times, but the problem was that freaking Tannehill threw 3 interceptions.
Yep.
Treylon Burks is back. He played a good game last week. I think that he will play well again. The problem is they don't have a whole lot of people to throw the ball to. They do have Austin Hooper over there, who I do like. But again, they're predicated on the run and playing solid defense. I think if Jamar Chase were playing, I would say Cincinnati, but I think that Tennessee is going to find a way to make it one of those grind out tough games that's going to end in like a 20-17 type of score and come down. So I think I'm going to pick Tennessee this game at home.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. And the Bengals and they're like you said, without Chase, they're out Mixon too. He got ruled.
Right. It's another big one. I think I got froze. I'm not sure if I got froze or Courtney got froze. I'm not sure if I should keep talking. All right, if you can hear me, I think Courtney might be frozen. We're going to find out what's going on in a second. I'm still going on over here. Cletus, I hope you got. I'll go with that. You could go with Garrett Wilson. I know we're talking about Tennessee, Cincinnati. Courtney, I think I'm going to try and hold it down for you right now because I think it's you. I think I'm still going good, but that's a big game. And there's another one I was looking at too. There was a fourth game that I thought was going to be interesting. And that actually is kind of the Jets game because I want to see what Mike White's going to do. Courtney will be back with us in a second, so hang on, guys. I want to see what Mike White's going to do. And this whole Zach Wilson thing, he would not be benched if it wasn't for what came out of his mouth by saying, no, I don't feel like I let the team down. He'd still be playing. And they've had their struggles against the Patriots. That's just been the issue. So I think that, look, I'm not convinced that Zach Wilson is the guy. I'll tell you that right away. That's number one on my list. I don't think that he's the quarterback of the future, and I highly doubt that he's going to be there next year. But is he better than Mike White? I don't know. Mike White's coming in kind of fresh, clean over here. It's going to be his first shot getting back at it. I'm not sure how it's going to work out for them, but they're playing Chicago, who's got a really bad defense. So if you were going to do it on a certain week and see what you got with this kid, then go for it. And not to mention, Zach Wilson is third right now on the list, on the depth chart, third. Okay? So Joe Flacco is second. If for any reason Mike White is, pooping the bed in the first half, then look for Joe Flacco maybe to come in and try to save things against Chicago. So that's kind of a big game too. There's a few more ones out there waiting on Courtney to come in. Not surprising. Washington is 6-5. Atlanta's 5-6. It's kind of a big game for both of them as far as the division goes. You want to keep them in there. You really do. And Atlanta, they have a shot with Tampa Bay stinking it up right now. Tampa Bay is just not a good team, guys. They're 5-5. They have one less game because they had their bye. Atlanta has not had their bye yet. And every team is playing this week. Every single team in the NFL is playing. We already had 3 of them. We got a Sunday night matchup with this Courtney's Eagles against Aaron Rodgers Packers. And then Monday night is Indianapolis and the Steelers. And the Steelers just don't look good. I honestly thought that they were going to be able to sort of right the ship this year and be an NFL team, be respectable, and even possibly make the playoffs. But Kenny Pickett is getting his feet wet. He's trying. He's doing his best. He doesn't have a great offensive line to back him up. Najee Harris ain't running the ball all over the place. I like Deontay Johnson, and I love George Pickens, no doubt. I mean, this kid is making some unbelievable plays, unreal plays. Oh, Courtney's back. There we go. Courtney, I was trying to hold it down as long as I could.
Thanks, man. No, appreciate it. I don't know what happened. Just StreamYard just kicked us out, and then it just restarted. I'm like, okay, just because the connection was great, but at just technical issues. But appreciate it, man.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep talking.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I like you said, we're professional hosts, so we do what we do.
Things happen. We clean them up.
Yes, we do definitely. But thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. Yeah, we just talked about the Bengals game, and I picked Cincinnati, you picked Tennessee, so. So we'll continue on with the schedule. Any other games that you have your eyes on?
Yeah, I was saying real quick, the only one that interests me, and I want to get your thoughts on it, is because we all know why Zach Wilson isn't playing, and that's because he said what he said. Otherwise, he would be playing. So Chicago's defense is one of the worst in the NFL. So I guess if you want to see what you got in Mike White, now is a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. And what Zach Wilson, when he did not taking responsibility for that poor performance, that's all on you because you could not move the offense. And you decide like, no, I'm not pointing the finger. That's not on me. Like, come on, man. Yeah, grow up. Like, yes, grow up and just take responsibility. You're supposed to be the leader of this team. And I don't care how talented you think you are. You got torn up. Like they really, New England really shut you down. And then you're like, you can lose a locker room that way. And now you lost your job. Now you've lost the job. It's like it goes back to almost like somewhat kind of similar like Carson Wentz, not taking responsibility sometimes for the losses.
Yep.
And Carson Wentz always blamed other factors. And yes, I get it, health reasons and things like that, but it's on you too because you're the leader. It's fair and unfair that you're the quarterback. You get blamed and you get the credit. So, but you're the leader of this team, and you gotta take responsibility. And somebody put a post on Facebook, I think just recently, where they said that the difference between when Josh Allen, when they lost to Minnesota, he took full blame for that loss.
Right.
And he said, I will play better. We will play better. He said, I'll take full blame for it. Now you got Josh. Now you got the Jets. It's like no, he didn't take full responsibility at all. So yeah, so Mike White, he's got a chance. You see what you got with him, and the Jets are a winning team. They got a winning record.
That's the big part about it. You know, I have a lot of Jets fans being from New York, obviously, and they talk about like, oh, what if we can get maybe Derek Carr next year or something like that? A veteran who can come in and play with a team who really is well built right now with the coach that they like and respect. I mean, they really are a quarterback away from actually being, a playoff contender. I don't want to go crazy and say Super Bowl, but think about this for a second. Not that I don't want to go off schedule over here. If Aaron Rodgers is really pissed off with this situation, he can get out next year. He can go to New York and pull a Brett Favre.
Yeah, to be the veteran, right, that they need
Right.
to right this ship, because you said they're building their defense is so good. The Jets defense is pretty good, solid defense.
And what a draft.
Yeah, and then a draft. I mean, they got weapons on the offensive end. So yeah, they can use a quarterback like an Aaron Rodgers, like you said, if he's like pissed off and the Packers season is really getting away from him, which is it's on the look the way it is. Why not Aaron Rodgers going to the job? I can see something like that.
It's possible, man. It's possible.
Yeah.
I can see, and I would love it if it happened. It would just make things so much more interesting because it is, again, it's a shame that the Jets have this good of a team. It's almost like the 49ers kind of thing. It's like you have such a great team, but you're missing that quarterback. But I would take Jimmy Garoppolo over freaking Zach Wilson.
Wilson any day, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's like, come on, man, show some maturity and take responsibility. Yeah. But, so we got another fantasy question, which is I'm loving this. He said one more. Keep them coming. Pick 2. Rachaad White, who got this starting for Tampa Bay, Jeff Wilson or Kamara. Ooh, Alvin Kamara.
Well, here's the thing, Kamara. He's the best out of this whole bunch, right?
Yeah.
He's got the toughest matchup against the 49ers. That's the thing. Jeff Wilson probably is a good start. I'm wondering how much they're going to split carries with him and Raheem Mostert, but they're going up against Houston, so they're probably going to run the ball a lot. And I do like Rachaad White. He's become the number 1 over there over Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
So, wow. Courtney, this is tough, bro. This is a hard one.
This is a tough one. I think because usually, like you said, you go with Kamara. You would think, okay, that's your stud.
Yeah.
You picked out, but like I said, he's got the toughest matchup. In our fantasy league, I just picked up Rachaad White. So,
nice. Good move.
So I said, because I was just eyeing him, I was like, okay, Leonard Fournette, but he's showing more of a burst than Leonard Fournette anyway. So I think they were going to split carries, but now with Fournette being ruled out, I figured he's going to. But then you said Jeff Wilson, man, I was trying to get him off waivers too, but someone else picked him up. Man, that's
Jeff Wilson. He looks like a nice pick, and it definitely makes sense. But if I would have to, it's like, how do you bench Kamara? Like he can go off again. I mean, he's so special. He can do anything. Right. So you almost have to start him. And I'd probably lean toward Rachaad White because he's getting all the carries.
I agree. I think it's those two. And he said, and with the Jeff Wilson, I think they're going to run the football, but then Tua loves to air it out to those weapons as well. So can they all get something part of that?
Right.
They could. I mean, they could put up 30 plus points.
That's true.
And still be able to run the football with the Jeff Wilson, but Tua can have 3-4 touchdowns as well. So
absolutely,
I think it's White and Kamara. I agree with you. I think it's those two. So yeah. So we love the fantasy questions. So last topic is fantasy football. I wanted to get your take on that. You beat me last week.
Sorry, man.
Not too happy about that. So I dropped from 2nd to 4th. But that's how it goes. We got a real competitive league. The Real Deal fantasy football league is very competitive, and you're right in the mix in the playoffs. I think you were 5th or 6th now.
Yeah, I just jumped into 6th place. It's amazing what a tie can do. I freaking tied this year. The exact we have decimal points. It's not like it was just 86. It was 86.1 to 86.1. I'm like, this happens once in a zillion times in freaking fantasy football.
Always.
It's actually helping me right now.
That tie is helping because you got some of even the bottom team. Everybody's got a shot in our league, but that's what it is. We have like our podcast league is just a tremendous, people that knows their stuff and everything too. So what do you think of this week? The matchup you have this week?
So let's see. So I've already got a bunch of points scored on me because he had Dak Prescott. Oh yeah, you too. Oh, I got to hear what happened to you. All right, you got Dak Prescott who got 30. Jamal Williams who got 10. That's not too terrible. Ramondre Stevenson got 11. That's not too terrible. And Tyler Bass, who got 8. My kicker, Greg Joseph for the Vikings, got 9. So he's the only player that has gone for me so far. So it's 60-9. But I got Jalen Hurts, who is a monster, and I think he's going to do very well. I got Nick Chubb, who is a monster, and Tampa Bay's defense is doing nothing right now. Keenan Allen is finally back for me. I got Devontae Adams, who's been lighting it up. We had David Njoku question before. I got him going this week. I got Juju Smith-Schuster and Dameon Pierce against Miami. But I look at I can't ask you for fantasy advice because you're going to give me some bullshit advice. I know. But I need to, I don't know. It's like, should I, like I said, don't start any Rams, but I got Cam Akers back there, and there's no more Darrell Henderson. David Montgomery against the Jets. They got a good defense. I got Amari Cooper. I got Cortland Sutton. So I got a few guys that I'm like, I can switch out for maybe Jimmy Smith-Schuster or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Is Schuster, he's out, right?
No, he's in this week. I'm surprised. So I'm debating whether he's my flex guy right now. I'm debating whether to go with him or maybe even, I don't want to have 3 Cleveland players. I already got Chubb and Njoku going, so I can't have Amari Cooper. It's either Amari Cooper or Njoku.
That's tough. That is tough because he said Cooper went off last week.
He did.
On the road.
Yeah, he shows up once every 4 games, so I figure he's not going to have a good game for a couple of weeks. So
right. You're right. And you said you're right. And they said Cooper on the road, his splits on the road and home was crazy, and then he had a good game on the road.
Right.
So that's a tough one. Like I said, we don't want to give each other advice.
No, we can't do that.
We could help each other out, but it would be one of those things. But,
maybe in a different league.
In a different league, right? So thanks, Cletus, for jumping on. Really appreciate the questions and coming on anytime, man. Just jump on and ask these questions to have a great live stream. But now I have a lot of points. I'm going against our girl Ruth the Truth. Check her out too. Her show I think is today at 2:00. So check her podcast out on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere too. So check her show out always. But right now I have Diggs. I scored 57 points during Thanksgiving, and she's got 25 right now. So Diggs at 13, Lamb at 16, Hawkinson at 10. So that was pretty. That trio did well.
Yeah.
Maher only had 3 points. I thought let me pick up Maher again.
Yeah.
See if he's going to gain a lot of points, and he didn't.
I know.
So and the Buffalo's D at 14. So
yeah, despite the points, Buffalo's D still got you some points there.
Yeah, got me some points, and she's got Schultz. And he had 15, but Gabe Davis didn't do much, and Pollard did. He had one of his worst games. He had 6 points. So, but she's got Brady and Derrick Henry and Tyreek Hill. Fournette's out, so I know she's going to change that up. But she doesn't have much of a backup, so she's probably got to pick someone up. So we'll see. You never know in this league. Our league is so you can have a big lead and then lose it by Sunday night, and then you're done.
I want to ask a question about your team this week. So I see you got D'Onta Foreman in so far against Denver, and you have a lot of options. You got Carter, Pacheco, and Perine. Are you thinking of starting Perine because Mixon's not going to play?
I'm definitely going to take Foreman. Probably going to take Foreman out. It's either going to be Perine or Michael Carter. That's I'm thinking because with Michael Carter going against the Bears. Would you talk about Mike White?
That's a good check
downs.
All right, that's a good matchup.
I'm debating Pacheco. I thought, but I think it's going to come down to Perine and White. But I got Garrett Wilson too, so I can change that with the flex.
That's true.
But
no wonder you're in 4th place, man. You got a good team there, bro.
Yeah, man. It's just the consistency. It's like I'll gain a lot of points, but like you said, you can have 140 points and still lose in this league.
Yeah, I thought that you were going to come back on me last week with Herbert and Eckler in that Kansas City game. I'm like, is this guy really going to score like 100 points between them right now?
I thought in the way Herbert now is starting to play, it seems like okay, now he's getting healthy. Let's see. He's getting his weapons back. And
right.
Mike Williams was back. I don't know. He's still banged up. But I had Palmer on the bench last week, so that hurt. Yeah, I didn't think when they had Mike Williams back and with Keenan Allen back, it's like. We'll see. Palmer's going to be the 3rd guy, but he ended up being the number 1 guy. So
I see the logic in that. That makes sense.
That caused some points, but that's how it is. You make these decisions, and then sometimes it backfires.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm probably going to sit Foreman though. I'm thinking because he could have a good game, but he's going against that Denver defense, which is tough. So,
yeah, Denver's tough.
Yeah, Denver's tough. So I might make that decision. I'll probably play Carter. As of right now, it's Carter, but it could change by tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. It's how we're feeling. You got to go with your guts sometimes. All right, you know what? I just feel like this guy's gonna have a good game. That's it.
Yep. And then I said it, and you said set it, forget it. That's what you do when you
that's it.
So set it, forget it. So
live with your decision and move on.
Move on. Yeah, and you get the winner. You get the win or the L. That's one of those things. The W or the L. So either way, man. But Jason, man, it's always good talking with you, catching up. And doing this, man. I love this, and what the conversations and what we have and predictions and things like that. Just enjoy just the football talk with you, man. And so thanks for the time. Thanks for we adjusted it and we got a show going. So I really appreciate it. So let everyone know where they can follow you, find your work, find the podcast and everything.
Well, Courtney, as you know, I love you, bro, and I love your show. You make it so easy for everybody. It's so personable and just talking just back and forth like a regular conversation. So you've been doing a great job for a long time. You are the real deal, no doubt.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
You certainly are. And yeah, I appreciate you giving me that shout out again. But yeah, listen, guys, 3rd and 3 at 7:00 Eastern every Wednesday night. We bring it live. We have a lot of fun. Nikki gets on me and Damien like crazy. She's our sister. It's again, like Courtney said in the beginning, we're one big family. So we have a hell of a lot of fun, man. And like I said, it's completely unscripted. All we do is we know what games we're going to pick. That's pretty much it. But we don't know who's going to pick what. And we just have no idea. So again, that's a whole bunch of the fun in it. And yeah, we have a great time. So it's all NFL right now. But in the off season, we get into a whole bunch of other stuff, man. So we'll keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah,
and Damien, by the way, Damien and Nikki got like 12 other shows. So
they're all over the place, man.
Yeah.
And then you do a lot of other things too with the shows too as well. So you guys are always just popping in because you do the spaces and you got other things, Twitter spaces and things like that. So yeah, shout out to Nikki and Damien and the entire 33 podcast. Like I've had you guys been on my show and I've been on your show. So it's always a pleasure, man, catching up with you guys. So I like I said, I really appreciate it and enjoy the rest of the weekend, man. And
thank you
as much as you can, with the weather's up and down. So who knows, but I really appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. We'll do it again soon. No doubt about it.
Yes, we will. Definitely, man. Everyone that tuned in, thank you, everyone. Like I said, this will be on, as you said, catch the replay. It's always there on the podcast platform, social media platforms, and everything too. Get the Real Deal on all social media. So again, until next time, thanks everyone. Peace. God bless.